11 former Baylor football players are now a part of the NFL in their next journey in life, and one of them, Xavier Newman Johnson, former Baylor offensive lineman, part of the Tennessee Titans, joins us. Craig Smoke, Paul Catalina, and David Smoke on 365 Sports. Xavier, can you try to explain the emotions of that weekend you just came off of?
Man, the emotions of it was high, man. It was a dream come true for me. Just having the opportunity to sign with the team, especially a team that, showed a lot of interest in me throughout the draft process. So that was a very, very grateful moment for me.
Xavier, what is the process like when when teams are calling you and you've got to sign a free agent deal, everything that happened? What was that like? Was it kind of fast and furious? What were you doing?
Yeah, it has the point where it's fast and people are calling and constantly texting. Then it gets to a point where it slows down, when everybody's doing their thing and figuring out who they really want to look at and stuff. So, it's really just making sure you stay on top of your stuff, stay on top of your body, your eating, how you hydrate, and make sure you stay on top of your things.
So, Xavier, how long did you have to wait before you got that phone call?
Well, I was already talking to a few teams before the draft was over. And me and my agents, we narrowed it down to, the few teams that we thought would fit me best and I had the best opportunity. And, we felt like the Titans were that team. So we got that deal done pretty quick, on both ends.
I can't imagine, though. How much is there anxiety? Are you nervousness? And then, of course, the thrill of victory because of what you had. Is there kind of an anxiety thing? Did you do something to just get away from your phone for a little bit, or were you nervous not to be able to do that?
Oh, no, man. Yeah, I wasn't sitting in front of the TV the whole time. I wasn't on my phone the whole time. I, played dominoes with my family. We played ping pong and cornhole and just got away and talked, to people that were there to support me. So I had a few things I was able to do to get my mind off of it.
So, Xavier, Jalen Petrie and Tyquan Thornton and Terrell Bernard and J.T. Woods and Treston Ebner and Kalen Barnes all get drafted. Yourself, Abram Smith, Raleigh Tejada, Jaron McVay, Drew Estrada, 11 guys from last year's team, either drafted or signing undrafted free agent deals. Just how awesome is that to have that type of success and see all those guys getting landing spots?
Man, I couldn't be more proud of those guys, man. Just the in and out of the days. We had conversations about everybody going to the NFL and making it. And to see everybody's dream come true this weekend was just a surreal moment for me, for myself, and for me seeing my teammates, having their names called and celebrating for them and just texting them, congratulating them. So I think it was a pretty good moment for not only us as individuals, but, the University of Baylor. I feel like it helps with recruiting. Recruits can see that and understand that you can go to Baylor and get drafted as high as you want. You know what I'm saying? And we had two guys going to second and two guys going to third. So I think that was pretty good for not just us as a group, but the school in general.
Now, you have a little bit of position flex, but do you feel more comfortable? Do you think you're going to play more guard than anything else when you go to camp?
I think I'll be back and forth at all three, center, guard, and center and both guards.
You said who would be the best fit? Was that the best foot schematically because of what you were able to do and how much you played as well as you did under the wide zone?
I would say as far as scheme-wise, yes, and also just having the opportunity to make a 53-man roster as well. So
have you thought at all what it would be like to block for Derrick Henry yet?
No, I still haven't wrapped my head around that, but that would be a good opportunity.
I would say part of the reason that his offensive line is good in front of him is if you don't get out of the way, he's going to run into the back of you, and you don't want that.
Yeah, do not want that.
Do you know much about Nashville, Xavier? Have you been there before?
I've never been to Tennessee, but I've heard pretty good things about it over the last few days. As far as, just the people there, the food places, and just the city overall is a good place.
Yeah, I was there for the draft a couple years ago, and it's cool. It's got a nice little downtown strip area. The stadium's right there downtown. It's Paul was just there actually.
No. Paul is married and has or almost to someone who's from Nashville.
Yeah,
So I'm required to tell you that Nashville is the greatest thing that's ever happened in the universe. But it's a great place. You'll love it. Yeah, I've been all over it. Yeah, it's awesome.
So Xavier, how did you celebrate once the dust kind of settled? Were you able to catch your breath at all and just kind of let it sink in, a moment to yourself or just a moment with family? How'd you kind of let it all sink in, so to speak?
Yeah, to let it sink in, me and my family, we went out to eat yesterday, just sitting down, talking to them, and it finally hitting me was a big thing. So I would say that was good. Just the overall weekend, just being around my family and people that supported me from the beginning, and having that dinner with them yesterday was really the thing that I needed.
That's awesome. You have grown up, and what you've done with Eric Mateos and the new coaching staff, but others along the way that have been a part of you as well. How many coaches, text messages did you get once the news came out you signed?
Man, I got a lot. I'm still texting people back now. I'm texting and calling people back and just, thanking people and appreciating people for helping me along the way.
I know that he mentioned you had a lot of different coaches over the years, but what was it about this past season with Eric Mateos, do you think, that just made it such a success, such a great partnership? And I think we'd all agree, I think you would agree that, you probably after, the last couple of years maybe have gone undrafted and signed with somebody, but I mean, you really did boost your stock this year and had a strong season. Why was that in your mind, and how much of that relationship with Eric Mateos played into that?
Man, Coach Mateos is a great guy. He came in and, everybody knows we weren't the best group. And he came in with a clean slate. He wasn't judging us. He wasn't looking back on how we were in the past. He came in with fresh eyes, and he just expressed that to us. He showed us, that we could be great, talked to us and told us we could be great. It just comes down to us putting in that work. And, being a player, having a coach that's confident in you and a coach that's willing to stand by you is a main thing that you want. And he came in and he did that for us, and he built that relationship with us. And, I mean, who wouldn't want to play for a coach like Eric Mateos?
Hey, Xavier, this is not meant to say anything about somebody who was there prior to Coach Mateos. Do you think you would be in this position today if he had not shown up at Baylor?
Yes, I think I would be. I think I would still have a shot at a team. Probably. I don't know how it would have went as far as everything, but I think I still would have been able to get a shot.
Big 12 champs, Sugar Bowl champs, and now a record number of draft picks. What kind of legacy do you think you and a lot of the fellas have left after the last 4 or 5 years?
Man, I think we really left a mark here on Baylor. And not only just from the accolades that we have got as a group, but just the ups and downs that we've went through, coming in, going 1-11, then going to the Texas Bowl, going to the Big 12 and the Sugar Bowl, then losing our coach, and basically having to restart over again. And, I think it just goes to show how we can handle adversity and how we're able to adapt as a group and stick it out. A lot of guys could have left. A lot of guys could have transferred, could have declared. But at the end of the day, we all stepped up and we stuck it out, and we believed in Coach Renda like he believed in us, and it paid off for us this last year.
It's a great story, Xavier. We talked to you after the game in Vegas. We've watched this offseason and also followed you during your career at Baylor. So proud of you, man. And we're not done with you. Hey, don't block my number, because we're going to get you on again here and watch what you do with Tennessee and also throughout whatever happens with you in the NFL, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Xavier Newman Johnson. What a great story. Mm-hmm. And now the offensive line, those who came back, and how many of them could be someone who has their name.
Connor Galvin.
Galvin.
For sure. Is
Gall.
somebody that you can look at. I think when you start to look at potential draft picks next year, Galvin would have to be one of them. And I don't know exactly on Gall, Grant Miller, and
Khalil Keith
as far as like how they would be viewed. I know Keith, especially with his size, would probably be viewed pretty well. But I would have to imagine that, if they perform the way they performed last year and churn out a bunch of yards and, win a bunch of games. And I think all 4 of those guys will have opportunities. But, yeah, I think Galvin and maybe even Keith are the ones you look at and you go, okay, those guys could be some pretty good draft picks.
Hey, Ted Joe 10.